My name is Paul Fowler, and what I do is I give people the opportunity to fulfill their dream of learning to fly. Aeroplanes. I've been flying for 37 years, and I've had the opportunity to fly pretty much everything apart from fast jets in the RAF. So from paragliders to heavy commercial airliners, I've really had a great opportunity, and I've never had to pay for it. Pretty much why I came to KPI was, up until about 4 years ago, we had bucked the trend of people who were learning to fly were falling off after about 5 years. We were retaining about 80% of our people that we trained, and the norm is only 40%. But we dropped into line with the rest of the world. And I needed to understand why that had happened and what I was going to do about it. So I looked around for various opportunities and came up with the idea of looking at what made people fly. Now, we had bucked the trend because we had a very interesting arrangement of aeroplanes that people wanted to come and fly. So I looked around and I thought, well, what is the ultimate aeroplane that people would want to fly? Any ideas? Any ideas what it is? Begins with S. Spitfire. So I thought, well, great, Spitfire. 2 million quid to buy one. £250,000 a year to run one. 4.5 litres of high-octane fuel a minute. Yeah, it was a wee bit too rich for my blood. But about 15 years ago, I met another Aussie entrepreneur who had come up with this idea of building 80% scale Spitfires. We had long conversations at ridiculous times in the morning. And we worked out that I could get 3 of these in a 40-foot shipping container, bring them to the UK, build 3, sell 2, keep 1, and keep doing that until I built up 3, which is enough for a flight. But that's as far as we got. I then fell into the flying club. It was a repayment of a debt. And it was something I've always wanted to do, run my own business. It was something I loved, started it off. And then I started thinking about this Spitfire opportunity. So what I did was I cast around, asked a few questions, and there were a lot of changes in the rules at that time about what you could and couldn't do, and they all coalesced at this time. So, started KPI, and one of the things that I came across, Mike Harris was talking about pitching. Now, this idea that I had was to build a squadron of Spitfires, 12 that is, and introduce people to the Spitfire. So any person in this room can come and work with me and our Spitfires. That was what I wanted to do. But how I was going to put that message across was a challenge. So Mike and a few other people taught me how to pitch. And my first pitch that I did was to the largest selling magazine, aviation magazine in the UK, which is Pilot. And over the phone, the editor said, you can have 2 pages. And I said, can I write the article? And he said, yeah, if you want. They published 4 pages. So that inspired me. I think, well, I can write. So I did a completely unsolicited article to Cotswold Life, which is any of you live out in the sticks? Oh, good. Us country folk, we don't have country life out there. We have our own version. It's got bigger words. And pitched it to them. They said, it's not really our thing, Paul, but I'll pop you onto one of our journalists. That gave me a full-page spread in the Daily Telegraph. In that week after that was published, I got the opportunity to speak to around 30 million people. I was on all the major TV networks. I was on the BBC World Service, and it was the best pitch I've ever done. And I was absolutely shitting myself. So you sit in this little room, It's about as big as this target, and a lovely lady says, "Are you all right, Paul?" Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, we'll be going live in a minute. Just so we'll be talking to about 22.5 million people. And the red light goes on, and that was it. Where we are right now is I have my first ever... Is there a picture of it? I sent you a lovely picture of this beautiful aeroplane. It is absolutely stunning. It should have flown yesterday for the first time, but sadly wasn't able to. A little technical hitch. Right, I'm getting there. What KPI gave me was the opportunity to develop a toolbox, which I use every single day. I'm now so familiar with a lot of the tools that I don't even realise I'm doing it. I even pitched to the cab driver on the way over here.
Free cab ride.
So good was that pitch that he's actually coming up to Oxfordshire. So it does work. I would urge you to listen and learn. It is a fabulous course, and thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Thank you. What an amazing story where aeronautical business finds its way into profile, into media. Paul didn't mention, but he's also on quite a lot of online media, where Spitfire is really, now his name is synonymous with that here in the UK and in Oxfordshire.